Hi, I'm Skip Nipper. Welcome to my podcast, where I tell you about not only Nashville's great baseball history and traditions,
shot to right, a one-hop liner,
but certainly about its past. And you will hear a little bit about its present and future, too.
Yes, he can. It makes the waist-high catch.
There are great stories about Tom Wilson Park, Herschel Greer Stadium, Sulphur Dell, and the players, coaches, and fans who love everything about baseball. And every once in a while, you will get to hear from a special guest who will share their fondness and even passion for the great game.
It's a high fly ball down the right field corner, going way back, hits a lead-off home run.
In what I have often called the greatest coup in the history of the Southern Association, on November the 8th, 1938, Nashville club owner Fay Murray shocked baseball fans, Southern Association owners, and everyone in between by announcing he had convinced Larry Gilbert, the New Orleans Pelicans veteran manager, to become the Nashville Vols manager, replacing Chuck Dressen. No one in any Southern Association city could have predicted it and didn't believe it, especially the fans in New Orleans. You see, Gilbert was a lifelong resident of the Big Easy, the Crescent City, the Paris of the South, and home to a great baseball team, the Pelicans. And when I read about it, I can hardly believe it myself, quite honestly. What did Nashville hold over New Orleans in the baseball world? Nashville had not had a pennant in almost 20 years, and New Orleans had 4 since Nashville won its last one, and had won 9 in the 38-year history of the Southern Association. Nashville Tennessean sports writer Raymond Johnson was elated and did not hold back on his fortune-telling ability when he wrote, "It should create more excitement among the local baseball bugs than Orson Welles' Men of Mars playlet did. And as one ardent fan put it last night, it's too good to be true." What would come to light in the days ahead was that Murray had made overtures for Gilbert to manage the Vols a year prior, and it was to no avail, as Larry was reluctant to entertain any idea of leaving his hometown. But that did not keep Murray from trying again. And Johnson explained why in his column when he wrote, "In order to obtain Gilbert," quoting President Fay Murray, "it was necessary for him to own a very substantial interest in the club. But as it has always been my desire to furnish the loyal fans and supporters of the Nashville club the best in baseball, I was willing to make any concession to secure Gilbert's services." Now, besides that not sounding like any owner in today's baseball world, it sure was a special time for Nashville to gain Gilbert through Murray's love of his fans and baseball in Nashville. But to accomplish that, it took one more slice out of Murray's bank account. He purchased Jimmy Hamilton's interest in the Nashville club and offered it to Gilbert. And one would think Hamilton would not be elated with losing 1/2 interest in the ball club, but undoubtedly, Murray made him an attractive offer too, as Hamilton had been with the Vols for 15 years, the past 8 with Murray as owner. And before becoming an executive with the club, he was actually the team's manager between 1923 through 1928. And it appears he was not unhappy with the transaction at all. He was quoted as saying, "I believe he did a great thing in getting Larry Gilbert. To my way of thinking, Gilbert is the only man who could fill Dressen's shoes. He's popular here and throughout the league, knows the league, and is a great man to handle players." Nashville Banner sports writer Fred Russell called it a masterstroke, and he wrote, "Fay Murray has made a master move. No other person in the world would be as acceptable to the paying public as Larry Gilbert. He is personally popular, a shrewd baseball man, knows the league better than anyone in it, and gets the very best out of his players." Well, go back a couple of years earlier, in April of 1937, the Pelicans were sold to new owners, and the new ownership, led by Seymour Weiss, kept the front office intact, including Gilbert. And Fred Russell fended off rumors of friction between Gilbert and New Orleans President Weiss by asking the head of the Pelicans himself, and Weiss explained it in no uncertain terms. Larry came to me and he laid on the table before me the proposition he had from Nashville. He asked me to look it over and then told me that if I felt he should not take it, if I felt he owed it to my associates and me to stick here, that he would turn it down. What kind of a man would I have been to ask him to turn down such an attractive proposition as he had? Why, if it had meant the destruction of the Pelicans, the loss of our franchise, or things worse, I would have told him just what I did tell him, and it was this: Larry, you must take this offer. And take it he did. Gilbert later explained, you may be sure I thought it over for a long time. New Orleans is my home, the home of my entire family, and 98% of my friends. My association with the new owners of the Pelicans have been perfect, ideal. I could not have hoped for a more congenial association, but the offer from Nashville was one I could not turn down. I owed it to my family to take it. Mr. Weiss and his associates would be foolish to even try to come close to the offer. I had to do it. I have a chance to make 3 times the money I can make here, an assurance I will make twice as much. Nashville is a fine baseball town, and I have known Fay Murray many years. I have no doubt I will get all the help I need to make good, though, of course. It probably would be expecting too much to have the good luck I have here with Winters. Anyhow, I'll do my best. The Pelicans boss expressed how his relationship would continue with the new Nashville field boss when he said, and as unwilling as I will be to put Larry on a spot or use him without pay, I'm frank to say that the next manager of the Pelicans will be the man Larry Gilbert approves of from among the half dozen or so names I will submit to him. So the deal is done. Gilbert took the offer. Was it a good investment for Fay Murray, the Nashville owner? Well, Gilbert took his 1939 team, that first time he was in Nashville as the manager, took them to the league playoff championship before losing to San Antonio from the Texas League in the Dixie playoffs. His first season. And the 1940 club stood atop Southern Association standings. Now, believe this or not, from opening day until the last day of the season, were never out of first place. And they won the league playoffs, then took the Dixie Series championship against the Houston Buffaloes. Now, Murray, the owner, had to have been elated and expecting more championships to come. But sadly, he died from a heart attack on March the 4th, 1941. His son Ted took over and allowed Gilbert to continue as vice president and general manager. And guess what? Gilbert kept winning with 6 consecutive titles, 1939 and 1940, then 41, 42, 43, 44, 6 consecutive years, and a record of 821 wins against 660 losses for the Vols. He retired from coaching after the 1948 season, but he remained in his executive position as vice president and general manager. And Fred Russell from the Banner gave a glowing testament to both Gilbert and Murray after the 1940 championship season ended and wrote, the Vols know it's humanly impossible to have a finer pair of bosses than Fay Murray and Larry Gilbert. Their feeling is a natural reaction to fair treatment, to honest dealing, to kindness. On September the 8th, 1948, in his final game as manager, Gilbert was honored for 25 years as a manager in the Southern Association. He remained in Nashville into the 1955 season before selling his share of the team and returning to his hometown. And in saying goodbye, he sent a letter to Russell expressing affection for Nashville. And he wrote, our sincere thanks for the many happy days and happy hours we have spent together. I have many good friends here, and we will be back to visit them. Now, that's quite a story about 2 very special people, and Nashville was very fortunate to have them. Team owner, Fay Murray, and vice president, general manager and field manager Larry Gilbert. I hope you enjoyed this segment of Nashville baseball history. If you have a recommendation, a suggestion, a critique, I welcome all those. You can send them to me at 262downright@gmail.com. And as always, thanks for listening.